Hi there, I'm Spell, and wow, you guys liked my first video. Seriously, just before I get into anything, thank you so much for all of the attention you gave on my first video. I'm nearly at 1,000, 10,000 views. I cannot believe that I got this much attention on it and that you all appreciated it so much, and you gave such nice, left such nice comments, and seriously, thank you so much for the support on my Deltarune video. It means the world. This is a little update video to essentially talk about what I'm going to be doing with this channel from here on out, and just kind of give, just information. Apologies, this is also unscripted, so it'll be a little bit rough around the edges, but, whatever. So, first things first, I'm gonna make more video essays from here on out, though I think I'm gonna deviate from theory videos and go mostly into character analysis, story analysis, and a lot of stuff regarding the gameplay and whatnot. I love taking apart games mechanically. You can see how I did that in bringing up, how Deltarune's game mechanics and the way it conveys its game mechanics interacted with the story and whatnot. Diegetic stuff like that, ludonarrative dissonance, that stuff is my favorite thing to engage with and to talk about, so I'm going to be talking about that stuff a lot. Now, I have 4 different video essays that I'm thinking of doing, and I thought, since I got so much attention, I thought maybe give y'all a chance to pick what video essay you might want. Heads up, I'm probably not going to do much more Deltarune content in the future. I love Deltarune, as you can see by me making a 1-hour video about it, but I'm not sure how much more I have to say about, the story of the game and, theorizing. I'm definitely going to make a follow-up video, after Chapter 5 releases, to essentially say, oh, was I correct? Were there parts where I was, very much off? That sort of thing. And it'll probably be a rough, unscripted video like this, just a kind of commentary to check in after Chapter 5. So, apologies. Yeah, I'm mostly going to focus on indie games that are not Deltarune. So, I have a lot of different ideas, and I want to specifically focus on making videos about games, indie games that I think get a bit less attention than they deserve for, the sheer quality that they are. Of course, that I'm not, limiting myself of, making it so I can't talk about AA and AAA games, but I want to, since I, have, somewhat of a, platform to speak about games, I'd rather, elevate stuff that I think deserves more attention and love. So, I have 4 different video essays that I want to pitch here, and I'll leave a YouTube poll. I'll leave a link to that in the description, and you can also find it on my community tab. That'll essentially allow you to, it'll allow you to vote on which one you like. I'm gonna just give you a little pitch for each of the 4 videos, so that way you can, determine what you like, and I'll get working on that next. Though I will say, making a 1-hour-long Deltarune video over the span of 8 months was kind of tiring, and I think I'd like to make something a bit lighter to start off with. So, the video that's going to immediately come out after this, or within, the next 2 months or so, is going to be a review of the game Vampire Therapist, because I love Vampire Therapist. It's an amazing game, and it's, I think, the most underrated game I have ever seen for the sheer quality of it. It is an amazing game. I really, really love it, and I'd really love to talk about it. So I'll make a shorter video, maybe 15 to 25 minutes, just saying what I like about the game and without any spoilers. Since I think I'm gonna mostly do video essays, but occasionally I'll make game recommendations of just hey, here's an indie game I think you'd enjoy. You should go play it. Though, of course, I also do recommend, I want you to play the games that I talk about here. I really, I'm not going to talk about games I don't like, other than, of course, there's going to be points where I'll mention, games that I think have some flaws. But either way, I endorse most of the stuff I talk about. Anyway, with all of that rambling out of the way, on to the pitches. So, my first video idea is a video on Deep Rock Galactic. I know, a bit of a bigger indie game, but I thought it'd be interesting. A video on Deep Rock Galactic going into game monetization. So I would talk about the ways that, like, you are able to earn things in the game, and the fact that they have a very interesting form of, like, the battle pass system, in that you don't have to pay for it. There's no way to accelerate your progress or get extra things with money. And, like, the only DLC, like, that you can buy are, like, a couple items, but the vast majority of unlockable items in the game are you can't buy. So I'd talk about that and, like, my thoughts on it. Of course, I'm going to get more in-depth than that very surface-level explanation. And I'll also be talking about and, like, comparing and contrasting with other games. Like, I'll be talking about a plethora of different games and how they handle their monetization. For example, I'm going to talk about Bloons and how that has some pay-to-win elements. I'll talk about Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition because, wow, that has a heavy price tag. And, like, games like that and, you know, how they interact with, like, having massive DLCs and stuff like that. Like, I'll be talking about Hearthstone and, like, card games. Like, I'll just be kind of going over a lot of how, like, games make themselves money and which ones I think are good and bad. Though, of course, I'm not, like, an economist, just a random transferee with opinions, so take that as you will. Next, my second video pitch is going to be a video on RPG Maker games, specifically focusing on In Stars and Time, with some additional commentary on Super Lesbian Animal RPG and Dial Town. So I'll be talking about how those three games, like, work with the very specific engine, RPG Maker, and how it's, you know, it's meant to make JRPGs, and yet each of them handles it in such a different perspective and, like, with a different angle that I think is really, really interesting to look at, because RPG Maker is, like, much more specific of an engine compared to something like Unity, for example. Though, of course, I'm not... As I said earlier, I'm not an economist, and I'm also not a game developer. I have some very basic coding knowledge, but, yeah, no, so I wouldn't be getting into, like, the brass tacks of, like, how the game is constructed on, like, a coding level, like, how those games are constructed. But instead, I'll just be talking about, like, how they use different mechanics to their advantage, and how, like, you know, Super Lesbian Animal RPG leans quite a bit more into, like, the, you know, like, classic JRPG mechanics, and Stars in Time deviates a bit, and then Dial Town is completely in another realm. Though I'll be talking a lot about In Stars in Time because it's the game that I'm the most familiar with, and because of the fact that I feel like the deviations it makes are just so fascinating to look at in terms of, like, their, like, Insert Disc 5's, like, methodology when it comes to making, like, the combat, how you handle items in the game. Like, I have a lot to say about In Stars and Time's mechanics, and I really want to talk about Super Lesbian Animal RPG and Dial Town as well, and just talk about RPG Maker. So, yeah, that's the second pitch. The third pitch is a video on Pushonomics. So this would be more of, like, an overall review of the game. This would be longer because I have a lot more to say about it. Though it would also be a character analysis, specifically about Sylvia and Saffron above all, but I'll still talk about all the characters, though some in less detail than others, because I don't want it to be super duper long. I'll also be talking a bit about, like, you know, the story and the mechanics and how the story and mechanics feed into each other. Like, the fact that you're in debt throughout the game, and, like, that poses a time limit on you, the way that, like, friendships and relationships work, the, like, card game mechanics that are thrown in there, like, all of that, and, like, the stress, specifically the stress mechanic I find so interesting, and I would love to talk about. So I'll be talking a lot about that. Like, it'll just kind of be an overall, just, like, look at the game, and yeah, no, so that'll be, like, more of a general video. It's about, like, it's kind of less specific, but it'll be much bigger than, like, the other, like, like game recommendation videos I'm gonna make. For reference, most of these video essays I'm pitching will probably be within the realm of 30 minutes to 45 minutes, because making an hour long or more than an hour long is a lot. Fun fact, the Deltarune video was originally supposed to be an hour and a half. I'm thankful I cut some things, because that would have been a lot more. I think 1 hour was a very healthy length for that video. And my fourth and final video pitch is a video on Monster Prom. So this would talk about Monster Prom 1 through 4. So it'll talk about Monster Prom, Monster Camp, Monster Road Trip, and Monster Con. So I'll be talking about specifically the way that the franchise evolved over time and how it changed. Specifically, I'm going to be talking a lot about the story, and well, more than that, I'll be talking about the quality of life changes, because I think that the developers improved their quality of life so much and made the game so much more accessible to play. Because I love Monster Prom 1, but it is very RNG dependent, and they fix a lot of that stuff in the later games and make it so, yes, there's still RNG. You can't just click a button to get whatever encounter you want out of the whole list of however many 100, but it's still, it still gives you enough control that it's not up to the whims of fate whether you're able to do something or not, and it's a bit more straightforward. Yeah, no, I'll just talk a lot about the quality of life, and also specifically I'll be focusing on the recurring characters and how they're how they evolve and how their roles evolve. Specifically, I'll be talking about Zoe, as you can see by the thumbnail preview. By the way, the thumbnails that I've displayed in the video are, in this video, are prototypes. They might continue on to be the final thumbnails for the video. It'll depend on which one is released first. And then maybe, I'll update the other ones as they come out, later in the year and next year and whenever I get around to them. But yeah, either way, Monster Prom video will be mostly about quality of life and talking a lot about Zoe in particular and the recurring characters and just how that franchise evolved, and I think the story that, kind of emerges from that evolution. So yeah, those are the 4 videos I'm gonna make, eventually at some point, but y'all please go vote. Vote in general, voting is good, but go vote on my poll on the community tab, and so that way you can, just tell me which one you want. Also, feel free to leave in the comments any recommendations you have about other games I should make videos on, though I will focus primarily on indie games. But of course I do still have some AAA games I want to talk about. I want to talk about The Outer Worlds at some point, and Outer Worlds 2 at some distant point in the future. But yeah, some other notes. Thank you so much for all the criticism that was given on the first video, the constructive criticism. I don't like people being mean. Thankfully, no one was really mean, so that was good. But, yeah, no, I will make sure to make my audio better. For example, you can hear the audio is a lot more consistent right now because I have put I'm using currently, a multi-channel, microphone that is meant for, film, and it's meant to be, moved around and whatnot. And I just kind of held it away from my face, and so the audio got inconsistent because I sometimes pointed my face in the wrong direction slightly. So now it's level, and I'll get a new mic at some point in the future. But yeah, my audio will be more consistent. I noticed there was a problem where sometimes I just forgot to add a frame of footage between 2 clips, and so there's just randomly black screen for a frame. That'll be fixed. I'll also make sure my audio, my voiceover is louder than the music, because I know that was a problem last time. My audio was, my music was just too loud. I'll fix that. I also will try my best to get the captions for the Deltarune video finished. I want to really get it done, but an hour is a very long video, so it'll take me some time, and I'm getting used to the caption tool since I've not used it until this point, since, as many of you noticed, this is my first foray into YouTube. Another thing is I'll try to have captions finished for each video before they release from here on out. Though, of course, there might be times where it's like, you know, I really just want to get a video out, or I have to get a video out by a certain time. So, reminder, I'm going to make the Vampire Therapist video first, and then I'll have that released within the next 2 months or so. And then I will get started on whichever video essay y'all vote on that I should make next. Seriously, thank you so much for all of the attention I got on the first video. It was amazing to see all of the support and all the criticism, and I'm seriously so thankful that all of you liked my video. And I know I'm not doing Deltarune stuff, so if you're just here for Deltarune, that's okay. Like, if you don't want to watch my other stuff, there's no pressure at all. But if you do want to watch my future stuff, I appreciate that. But even if you just want to watch the Deltarune video, I still appreciate that you're, like, giving this update video a chance. And thank you for all the support on the Deltarune video regardless. Like, I appreciate every bit of it, seriously. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to make more videos, and I just thank you all for giving me the opportunity to, you know, like, make more of these and just have fun and express myself on the internet and have conversations over, like, you know, about, like, the games that we love, and that's just, it's just really nice, and I've just had a lot of fun with this, and thank you. Also, I don't want to be a chill, but, like and subscribe. They say that you get more number if you say that. Though, of course, getting number is not my goal. I just want to make stuff, and if y'all like it, that's fun. I'm glad. Either way, thank you all again so much, and I'll, I guess, get to work. I don't really have an outro yet, so, furry jump scare.